What's up, guys? Welcome to my page for now. Might not be here long. I'm only going to censor myself to a certain extent. I won't show pictures of the entire Capitol situation because they're going to snatch me off. It's inevitable. Cash got snatched off for 60 days. 60 days. I have two guests with me. I won't bring up the second one just yet, but I've got the awesome Casey. He plays devil's advocate. That's why I like Casey. He makes me think sometimes.
I try.
Really, bro?
I try.
Hold on. Let me open it up. Dang, I forgot I have to make all these public because Facebook is rude. Yo, what's happening, cuzzo? How you doing? Why can't I open my phone? Oh, here it is. Okay, we got that one open. Let me go open this profile. Isn't it a shame I have to do this? This is ridiculous.
Should have an assistant.
I do, but
they didn't show up
on the other page. No, I run another Facebook page, so he's like busy with that one.
Okay.
And I'm busy with this one, so we're both getting overloaded. Yes, they are. We're going to be talking about the censorship. You know, we're going to be talking about what I call the Great Delusion. Now, I'm a firm believer in the Bible. I know everybody does not believe in that. I respect everyone's views. But if you're watching me, you're going to hear me reference the Bible verses and everything I feel that's important to this event in history that we're going through. I thought 2020 was bad, but this is 2020 on steroids. I am shocked by all the stuff that is happening.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Absolutely. All day today I kept seeing more and more happening, and then I'm like, oh, wow, something's going on. This just doesn't make sense. But I worked, and I was just working, and then all of a sudden it hit me, and I'm like, this is systematic somehow. Systematic.
And it conveniently happens now. Right after they're trying to censor the heck out of what actually happened at the Capitol.
Yep. Well, because stuff's starting to come out. Like, it just slowly was filtering out, and here we are. But thankfully, it's not deleted off of phones.
Well, you know, they're talking about deleting Parler off of all Apple products if they don't give some sort of guidelines on censorship.
Well, delete Parler, fine. But if they still have the media on their phones, we can still put it on another platform, right?
You're right. You're right.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm hopeful that we also trust the cloud too much at the same time.
So yes.
Anybody listening to this that's been there and has stuff, don't trust the cloud.
I remember when the cloud first came out, and I was like, I will never put a picture on there. I don't know what these people are going to do with my shit. I still haven't put anything in the cloud.
I have some photos up there, that's for sure, to just save space on my phone, but nothing that important.
We need to go back to the old ways of photo albums. I haven't seen the photo album since I was a little girl.
Yeah, I would prefer just SD cards, like these things. So I can keep it.
The digital age, man. I'm old school. Give me a tangible picture for me to pick up. Parler has been removed. Wow. I don't know if Russo's ready. He's in the back. Are you ready, Russo? All right, he's ready.
Is he? Oh, I came back.
Yeah.
We got Russo.
For now, I got a couple bars, so I don't know when we'll go in and out, but we're at 4 bars right now. We're good to go. I'm mobile. I'm in an RV right now, going up the road.
Nice.
It's feeding off your energy. That's why.
There it is.
Guys, Sidney Powell and General Flynn have been suspended off of Twitter. Right now, it's looking like indefinitely. They won't be back.
That's awful.
What did they do that went against community guidelines?
Spoke their piece, spoke what they wanted, and did what they wanted, which is fine. It's our First Amendment right. It should be allowed. Now, I do also understand, I'm going to be, as Sidney called out, I'm a little bit of a devil's advocate, but I will allow people for platforms to control their platform because it's their platform. It's just like when someone comes into my house, you obey the rules of my house. If you don't like it, you can leave type of thing, right? And so that's how I look at the platforms, but I don't like it with how big these platforms have become. I don't think we can enforce that per se because it's not fair. It was like that a long time ago, like 5 years ago. Now it's getting worse, and we're just getting more and more censored all the way down to where we can't even say a thing.
You can't. I get what you're saying. In a sense, okay, this is their stuff. They have their rules, but their rules only apply to certain human beings, like conservatives. They don't take off liberals. They don't remove BLM rallies, the things that they do. They're not taking Antifa and all their violent stuff off, burning flags, practicing rituals, doing weird, evil shit. So it's almost not fair. It's almost like you're purposely targeting us. And why?
Well, no, I was just saying I'm okay with this type of action, but it does need to be equal. I didn't specify that. But yes, should be fair and equal, but they're clearly not, for sure. The bigger part is it's really annoying that another topic we're going to get into, but there needs to be other platforms for us to be able to communicate and not be on theirs.
I agree.
I don't understand where it's all about censoring hate speech apparently, and there's literally been nothing on there except for they're saying it's inciting something. What has been done? The worst thing that's been done by us searching for answers is literally a 1,000,000-man march at the Capitol that is being deemed as something that it wasn't. There is some elements of violence that were there where the protesters actually were going against the people that started the violence, and eventually people got in the building. So that's the worst thing that's happened. And we're talking under $20,000 worth of damage. We're censoring hate speech or limiting hate speech, and you've gotten things from like Peter Fonda saying we should RIP Barron Trump from his mother's arms and put him in a cage with pedophiles to see if mother will stand up against the giant asshole she is married to. 90 million people in the streets on the same weekend in the country. Fuck. Like how is that not hate speech? We met a woman, I call her wheelchair girl because she had this like motorized scooter girl in Washington, D.C. And she was awesome. She's got 5 different accounts because she keeps getting banned just for saying stuff. She got banned because the guy said to her, the governor or whatever, her mayor that she's a supporter of, you should suck and swallow your mayor. And that was okay. She replied back with, how can you be such an asshole? You need to watch what you say. And that is what got banned. So she was allowed to get ridiculed for sucking and swallowing, but since her page is conservative base, she got banned for 30 days for replying with, why do you have to be such an asshole? This is not a free country anymore.
I 100% agree.
But
you
wanted edgy Anthony, Suni.
I do. I like this, Anthony. I like that you have now chosen a side. I do, because I feel like, for me at least, the line has been drawn in the sand for a long time. So at this point, it's like you need to choose what side you're on. It's either good or evil, because there's no in between anymore. You don't get to ride the fence and be like,
and this is what I
don't know.
And you don't have to agree with any of us.
Yeah.
You have to agree that our rights are being taken away. That's the American side. You can fully say, I want to support Joe Biden, but to say that and then also say we're not allowed to have a effing conversation about stuff. We're literally watching a movie play out. The president of the United States, who is still the president of the United States, has been banned from social media, which is unfortunately a privately owned or publicly owned business now. So everybody that keeps using that, well, it's owned by, no, it's not private. It's publicly owned. We have a right to this stuff, and it's now being run by the government. So that should be our first clue. It's now a very gray area. Speaking of gray, Teresa Gray. Yes, you got our freedom book. You've got that happening. You've got Sidney Powell. You've got General Flynn being removed. You've got Parler, which has been a free speech voice for us to communicate, being taken down. This is a fire sale for conservative voices. They are using an event that did very, very, very little damage and had peaceful protests where people were literally waving the American flag in pride and turning it into a terroristic event. You've got people that are getting doxxed left and right. You've got people losing their jobs, losing their careers. And now if you want to disagree with us, that's fine. But if you're not going to stand up for our freedom of speech, you are not with us. This is where we divide. This is where we have to separate. And not because of our difference in opinions. We have to separate because we are supposed to, the one sanctity that we have as the United States of America is that we are all Americans and we stand together with our Constitution and our amendments that afford us freedom of speech, right to do things, right to be an American. We are losing that. And we have we are going to be grasping at straws. And when that happens, bad things will lead. When you have lost all other abilities to communicate or to have a voice or to have a career, because people really are getting fired. People are leaving reviews on websites. People are calling employers. This isn't a joke. This is happening in my one circle right around me. This is real life. Not because we broke in and did damage, but because we stood on the steps of the Capitol building and said our voice is not being heard. Think about it.
I have a question. I'm curious what your guys' perspective is. Do you guys think this is why they wouldn't allow Section 230 to be repealed?
Of course. Of course.
So this was all a plan ever since that's what Trump was pushing for. He probably knew this was going to happen.
And that's crazy. We're going to segue into this. Trump was able to, I guess this is his backup page, and he was able to send a tweet out. He said, "Patriots who voted for me, Twitter may be a private company, but without the government's gift of Section 230, they would not exist for long. I predicted this would happen. We have been negotiating with various other sites, and we'll have a big announcement coming soon. While we also look at the possibility of building our own platform in the near future, we will not be silenced. Twitter is not about free speech. They are all about promoting a radical left platform where some of the most vicious people in the world are allowed to speak freely. Stay tuned." So,
Well, we all thought that he was going to have his own page, his own thing. But
yeah,
we're seeing that doesn't matter. Parler is being taken down by, I mean, if you can't upload it on your phone, most people don't have computers. So if they get the Microsofts of the world and all the different non-iPhones and Apple to all go in, the big tech giants, you won't be able to get it.
Yeah.
They're in full control right now. Full control.
Just know, Android, there's always ways to get it if they can release the APK. That's why I use Android, because I don't like Apple when they restricted that for me and I couldn't install my own apps. I'm like, no, I'm good. But I agree with you 100%. Like when I saw Parler go down, I'm like, this is too much of a coincidence for today. No way. Way too much. And I saw all of the stuff coming out from Wednesday, showing up on my Facebook feed from people that usually don't talk about it. And they're like, oh my gosh, like, look at this. Like people are right. And I'm like, uh-oh, this is where it's all coming from. I think like, it's going to be interesting, but overall phones shouldn't be restricting what apps you can get. The government shouldn't be restricting what apps you get. When Trump wanted to block TikTok and WhatsApp and those things, that's not a government's position. Right? They don't get to do those things. That's user's choice. And so it's kind of interesting. Like you got to walk a fine line there, but we should not be censoring anybody, and we should be allowing freedom, like you've been saying. We should be allowing that.
Sorry, I got a bunch of people sending me a ton of shit. Okay.
So Cash was trying to send me something. What is he banned from currently? Everything?
Facebook. His main page.
Because he's got, I mean, so he can still, why did somebody make a penis comment? That's weird. Hi, Glenn.
I don't know.
It's awkward. So it's totally random. Why is, so he's still trying to message me because he wants me to put a link up on my page, but I don't know.
So he has his backup page, which is like his fan page. It's just a page. It's not an actual profile, like his personal profile. And he's still got YouTube. I think that's actually the only one that he's banned on for. He can't post for 30 days. He can't go live for 60 days. And they got him on all the posts he put up on the 8th. Anything that had Trump in it, anything that was pertaining to the Capitol, that's what they got him on, which is ridiculous.
Well, once you put it on the internet, it's never gone. So even though stuff was deleted, so
I'm already on our Freedom Book. You could find me. Just look under Sunni the Middle Child. You'll find me right there. I'm also on Parler. If you want to find me on Parler, it's Conservative Sunni. Excuse me. Dan Bongino put out a video. I thought his video was pretty interesting, and this is the first time I've seen him go live like this in a long time. Did you guys see the video?
I have not.
You haven't?
Yeah, I did.
You did?
Yes.
Right. I'm gonna meet you guys.
Yeah.
So I rarely do Facebook Lives anymore. I haven't done one in a long time, but this is an emergency message. Folks have obviously had a really rough couple of weeks, but in response to this, we are now living in a de facto big tech government symbiote police state. You've seen the crackdowns. You've seen the crackdowns by YouTube, by Twitter, by Facebook, by Apple and others. And now it's come for Parler. Parler is a company I'm an investor in. So I do have a financial interest. I'm not going to smoke anybody up on this platform, but this has nothing to do with money, I assure you. Parler was the free speech alternative. That's why I got involved with it, to these Facebook, Twitter, tech tyrants. That was always the free speech alternative. We have terms of service like anyone else, but you're allowed to speak openly and we never discriminate. Apple, the big tech tyrants at Apple, are now threatening us legally to pull us off the apps up there that incited violence. Well, we have policies against inciting violence and we do the best we can, but we're not a surveillance platform and we never have been. They're not enforcing those rules as far as we know against Twitter and Facebook. It's just us. I need your help. We are in real trouble right now, ladies and gentlemen. And listen to me. I've been talking about this for 3 to 4 years on my show. The need to construct a parallel economy to get away from these tech tyrants and their liberal overlords. If you don't think this fight is coming for you to your door next, then you are insane. I need you to do something. Call your legislators, call your congressmen today and ask them what they're doing about this. We have to have equal application of the law across the board. We can't have the public square evaporate in front of our very eyes because this new police state they want brought down upon us because now they feel like they're free to do it because Joe Biden won the presidency and they feel like they've taken control of the presidency, the Senate too, that they feel like they can just kick us off and shut us all up. A society can't exist like this with two separate sets of rules, one for us and one for them, their favored liberal overlords. This election was disputed for all the right reasons, okay? It's over. President Trump made a statement yesterday. I thought they wanted unity. That's not what they want. They want to keep effing with us, pardon my language, and they want to shut out and shut up. And I'm telling you, this fight is coming for you next. You posted something on Facebook a few years ago. Wait till someone reaches out to your employer like they did to us. I need you to spread this video. I'm asking you for a personal favor. I don't ask that. I don't come on this platform. I don't bother you. I don't waste your time. I haven't done a live in forever because I'm no big fan of Facebook either. And I just quit Twitter yesterday. But Parler needs you. I need you. I need your fight. It's not just about us. It's about other platforms as well. There's other competitors out there too, Cloud Hub and others. They're doing a good. These guys will be next. Everyone will be next. Dave Rubin has a site. No one will be left but Twitter and Facebook. I need your help. We're going through a lot right now, but there's power in numbers. Contact your legislators, please. Ask them what they're doing about this. Post something on Facebook right here. Please share this video to everyone, warning them. And please, go open up an account tonight. This has nothing to do with money. I don't give a shit about the money. I don't care. Go open up an account tonight on Parler before they shut us down. It's the only way I'll be able to communicate with you soon because it's only a matter of time before they take this Facebook page down too. Parler. Please go tonight while we're still around on an app and download the app tonight. We're running out of ways to talk to each other. Pretty soon we're going to have to get carrier pigeons to deliver messages. All right, Dan Bongino. Out.
I love that guy. I've been watching him for a few months now because I never heard of him, and I heard his book, read a few pages of it, and he's dope. I like his podcast. He's a straight shooter. I have been telling people probably for about the past month or so. When they say a dark winter is approaching, they're talking about operations that they have already planned and set in place. Dark winter is nothing other than I'm going to ban anybody who's an independent thinker from social media, especially if you have a big platform. They're going to silence you. They did Trump, Sidney Powell, General Flynn. You have all these people that can't get on social media anymore. And why is that? Then we have a mutation of COVID-19 after they're issuing how many different vaccinations? So these people are getting this vaccination for no reason because the damn thing is mutated. They're going to lock everybody down. You're not going to be able to talk to people. I just witnessed a lady losing her freaking mind today, and I actually felt terrible for her because she's realizing that all this stuff, everything we're seeing half the time is fake. It's an operation. It's a psyop. It's a false flag. And you have everybody here afraid, scared, because they don't know what's going to happen next. Sorry, take over for me really quick.
You're good. You're on point. And the thing is if they can put fear, instill fear, everybody's going to be vulnerable and they're just going to cave in, right? And this is one of the things that I don't like is with the government, they will instill fear and just say, hey, we'll protect you. Like, we'll be fine. And I don't believe in that. Like, we can't allow that at all. And big tech is just buying into the system and just accepting it because big tech is paying them a lot of money because government's using it to filter, get information from all the users. And so it's all a big agenda, as bad as it is. The internet is a double-edged sword. It was amazing when it first started, and then look what it's evolved at now. Because we can't talk about things. And these companies think they can censor us, which I will permit as long as they are open with what they allow and what they don't, and be equal and fair. But one of the things that I love to say is if you can control the language, you can control the people. And I think that's what they're trying to do is just control what can be spoken about. And then you can start controlling people and getting them to do certain things.
I was thinking about that too. That would cause for extreme, what do you call it? You would have to have a lot of self-control. To not pay zero taxes, that means you don't pay your bills. You don't pay nothing. You don't buy groceries because everything we purchase is us paying a tax.
Yeah.
So I think people need to think about that. You say it sounds good. It sounds like let's hit them in their pockets and make it hurt. But you're hurting yourself at the same time because they have everything so convoluted that is you almost feel helpless. I understand where everybody is tonight. I'm telling you I do. I try to get on here and offer some encouragement, give some good news. There you go. They would garnish your wages. But I think people need to come to terms where we are. And we're in a really dark place in the U.S. Unfortunately. This is from Lindsey Graham. He's on my shit list. All right, you want to kiss ass now. It is now time for Congress to repeal Section 230 and put big tech on the same legal footing as every other company in America. Legal accountability. This is what I mean.
Bullshit.
This is what when I tell you that Republicans are full of shit, they only do this when shit is hitting the fan. All you're going to see from this is a tweet from Lindsey Graham, and he's going to do absolutely nothing. Republicans aren't going to budge. They're not going to do shit. This is their form of pandering. Oh, look what Lindsey Graham said. Who cares? What are you doing about it? I'm tired of you guys talking. You need to do something. And if you're not going to do something to help us, then get the fuck out of the way. I'm so serious. This tweet is ridiculous.
Does anybody know what his position was on Trump's $2,000 tax bill that McConnell was shutting down, or $1,800 that would require this?
To be honest, I don't pay attention to these Republicans.
I'm pretty sure he was against it, and so now he's all of a sudden for it, and so it's all a game. And the other person I've talked up, that I'm usually fond of is Rand Paul.
Mhm.
He also switched sides.
He did.
And so I'm very disappointed in him. I'm disappointed in Mike Lee from Utah. My next agenda is to vote him out. But yeah, there's a lot of people that shown their true colors, and I just got to figure out the best way to expose it and share it
Yeah.
without getting deleted off of Facebook and all of these platforms is the other problem.
Says, I'm gonna read some of these comments. Trump will not be live anywhere. That is a fake message. It's a lie. I wish people would stop spreading it. I don't know how many times I've told people on my show, he's not going to be live anywhere at 9. For people have been saying this for 3 days now. You're muted, Verso. Oh, hold on. Go ahead.
Sorry, 3 days. They've been saying it, and honestly, I think I've tried to look more into the back end of OAN. OAN has been putting out so much bull crap lately, and they are literally, which is funny because I refer to them as CNN of the right, which CNN is supposed to be mainstream and real news, but they legit will find something and they will run with it, and there is nothing truthful coming out of it. And unfortunately, they're baiting our people. They're baiting the people that follow us. So I have not seen a single truthful thing out of OAN in forever, and I'm very curious. It's clickbait for Republicans so that Democrats can come back at us and say, exactly, you guys don't know what you're talking about. So if you see anything with OAN, avoid it like the plague right now. Avoid it like the plague. Newsmax is as close as it gets. Honestly, I know it's going to sound crazy. Fox News hasn't been terrible because they're showing a little bit of both sides. You have to take everything that you're seeing from all these different sources. And honestly, I haven't seen a single cross-reference of OAN come up true lately. Take some cross-references and go from there.
Facts. That's what I tell everybody. I look at everything.
I keep this one guy. I'm now today I've decided F people, I'm done. So I'll do a quick little thing and then I'm blocking them, which I've never really done. But I believe as though we are at a semantical WAR. I believe that's where we're in a WAR of semantics. I feel like that word is going to be the next one clicked off, so I'm not going to say it. But we are in something where we're not going to be fighting with weapons, but we are fighting in a different way, and we are losing ground to have our American rights. So with that, I'm just blocking people. But I had a comment from one guy, SC Knapp. Just because somebody says something does not make it true or honest, you effing rubes. The comment, I said, to that comment, you're right. But he has literally always been, just like many of the other people on my posts, unwilling to see that he is not always right. He then comes back and says, Trump is a liar, you're the sucker. Well, that's his last post on my page. So that goes by SC. Forever. Okay. We're blocking people. That's what we're doing.
Dude, I just recently started doing that with this last week. I'm so done. I'm spending so much time arguing with people that just don't want to talk. And then they turn it personal even, and they start attacking you. And I'm like, no, that's not where we're going. I'll have a debate, but we're not going to do that.
What is WL? And what do you mean? What's the deal with my last post shared onto your page? People share a lot of shit on my page. I don't know what you're talking about.
Willie Lomans, Wonka Wonkas.
What is WL? I don't get it. I'm like looking on my page now to see what you're talking about.
Linwood's backwards.
Linwood?
What's up, Kaylee? I don't know. Woodland? I don't know.
Maybe it's code. Not your post.
Okay, guys. That is an old dump. Sorry, you can answer this too. It's bait. It's bait. It's literally making us look dumb. I've gotten it over 40 times today. I love you guys. That is a very, very old WikiLeaks post that literally has a headline, probably made by Democrats, to say, nothing's there. It's all a bunch of just little crap. It's not a real dump of, because it says Hillary emails and these emails, Podesta. It's not in there. It's a whole bunch of random ass files, and it wasn't new. It's been dumped. If you want to know what WikiLeaks is doing, follow them on Twitter, follow them on whatever. They'll tell you when they're about to dump something. If they're about to, they're probably going to get blocked from Twitter. So you have to be very careful to find them.
Facts. I don't even got to say nothing.
Sorry.
No. Sometimes I get tired of saying the same stuff. And it's not a shot at you guys.
No.
You also have to understand, we sit here and say, I could tell somebody, I'm gonna just give you an example. I put up the document from #Italy did it. Thank you, Chris. I put up the document. Okay. This is an official document. Do you know how many people I have in my comment section saying, is this true? No, this is not true. Why are you putting out fake news? This is not official. Well, it's in English. No shit, Sherlock. Why would we read something? Why would I put up a document in Italian and expect for everyone to know how to read it? Does that make any sense at all? I don't think you guys really think about stuff before you actually type it. Please. If I see somebody else say that, I'm going to freak out on you in the comment section. You will see a whole nother side of me. An entirely different side of me. I sat here and I dedicated 2 hours of my day to break it down and tell you what #Italy did it is. I didn't make it up. I didn't pull it from the crack of my ass. Come on. Is it true? I wouldn't put it on there if it was true. I mean, if it wasn't true. Come on.
What are we doing? Ooh. Sorry, I didn't mean to yell that out loud.
What are you doing?
#Italy did it. If you have not seen it, if you want to go back and watch my video, you can go watch my video. If you want to just type in the hashtag in the search bar and do your own individual research, you can do that as well. I suggest you looking into it. Thank you. She put up the video right there. Go back and watch it.
I gotta watch it.
Have you looked into it, Casey?
I've been slowly looking into it. I've been trying to avoid watching people's videos and taking my own content and trying to form my own opinion that way. But I'm now to the point, especially after hearing Cash's live today and it's a little bit that was talked about, I'm like, okay, I'm good. And so I'm going to start just I got to pull up your video next. That's the only thing I got to do.
It's some crazy shit.
It is. Man, after hearing that video today that Cash played, I'm like, all right, that's quite interesting.
Boom. Angie's got it. She's my favorite.
Is that why the document may not look completely official?
Because it's been translated, of course.
Yeah. Is that why?
He probably had to sign both, every document they put out.
No, and that's fine. That was my one question about it is it just didn't look completely official, and I'm like, okay, that's why I got to look into it and understand. But it was translated, and so that makes sense why it wouldn't be that way. Perfect.
So Kelly asked me something. She said, so what hope do we have? Like, who do we have to save us right now? Because as we systematically lose things, what do we have left? But no, Casey, that's not that. We aren't enough if we don't have a platform. That's best. We can't yell on a street corner like my dumb former friend said.
Well, Wednesday can happen again.
I mean, honestly, and that's pretty much it. But then how you organize by word of mouth? I mean, honestly, we did a 75 million people voted for somebody based on a grassroots campaign because we had 90% of the media against us. So, but again, it's becoming more and more and more difficult. Like, I mean, I'm still holding out hope that Trump has got. I'm not to win the presidency. I'm not saying that, but he's got something up his sleeve to help. Now, do we know why? Do we know why he is? Why they're trying to impeach him so bad? Have we had that discussion?
I do. #Italy did it. They're scared of shit.
Because we have how many days until inauguration? 14 days.
14.
Why, if anybody think about the logic, why would they try? They got 14 days. Why can't they just write it out? Why would they do articles of impeachment? It's not for history. They don't want to go, look, we got him out of there. No, absolutely not. He's dangerous in these last 14 days. He can use executive power in a way that, yes, probably would cause massive civil unrest. But he is the last hope, it's seeming, and they're showing every card they have right now. This is a systematic silencing of one side of what he's a bad dog. One side of all of the way we speak. And this isn't public platform or private platforms anymore. This is public. These are owned by big business. They're owned by stockholders. I own part of Apple. I should have a right to say that Parler isn't going to get taken down, albeit a very, 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 very small amount.
So, but if they impeach a president, don't they have some powers that they can undo what he's done?
They could undo that. They could also, it's not even about unsealing the documents because it goes beyond that. I mean, it involves the Insurrection Act. It involves martial law. It involves military coups, which, again, I am not a conspiracy theorist. Sunni and Casey know this. But I'm saying there is options afforded by the Constitution that to me are all of a sudden not seeming that far off. It's seeming like almost a last hope. Look what's gone on in the last 36 hours. And we can't, again, I had a conversation earlier. Kelly said this. She goes, we keep saying, and actually Sunni on that one show a couple weeks ago where you and Bobby and Blake were getting kind of upset at me. Where's your line? Where's your line? Because we kept saying, it's coming. It's coming. It's coming. What's going to make us break? It is. If you don't understand that as of 24 hours ago, it's here. It is now. We are at risk of losing our freedoms if we do not agree with one side of our political affiliation.
All I know is number 17. All right. I have not been a fan of them. I felt like this was a bunch of Looney Tunes messing around on the internet. All I'm going to say is they haven't been wrong. I've actually looked at a few things. I'm looking at a document now. I can't show it on here because I don't want to get snatched down. But they predicted this in 2018. 2018. You can look into it. I'm giving you breadcrumbs. All I know is there is over half the nation under a great delusion. They don't realize anything that's going on. If I were to talk to some of my family members about what I'm talking about right now, they would tell me I'm schizophrenic. Something's wrong with you. You need to take some meds or go get some help. Because they don't understand that what you think is beyond the realm of reality is true. Art imitates life. We've been watching movies about this for how long now? How long? 1984 came out in the 50s.
It's been a long time. I have a different belief. Like, it's been going on longer than that. I think 1984 is just being used as a guidebook today.
For
sure. I have beliefs that it's been going on longer, but we don't need to have that conversation. It's crazy to think that book was written before its time, and it's like today. Mm-hmm. It's weird. Today in modern world, of course, it couldn't predict internet and stuff like that, but you can get the gist of what it's talking about.
Facts. Everybody know what I'm talking about when I said 17. You can't say it on here. Apple's threatening to shut down Parler. Yep. Yeah, we talked about that. My husband and kids.
Sorry.
Go ahead, Russo.
Actually, my husband and kids think about me sooner. Breaks my sooner. I like that. What's up, sooner? Somebody made the comment about the plane in Abilene in Texas. So again, I like to cross-reference and all that stuff because they're talking about whatever might be happening in Texas. That plane, it doesn't take much to research. That plane is parked there permanently. It's a backup plane for something, and it's there all the time. So that's a no. So, sorry, just had to say that.
No, you're good. We have to. People got to stop. You got to. This is a great delusion. Okay, we have information coming from 1,000 different ways. It's so confusing to filter out what's true and what's not. This is when discernment comes in, and this is when I feel like people need to be firm and strong in prayer. That's a big thing with me. The other day, I went off on my live. I was so annoyed because I watched so many people turn their back on a president that has had ours for 4 years. He gave up his life. He put his family in the limelight, his children, his grandchildren. People are going to know Trump's name for centuries. And for centuries, they're going to have a stain on their name because of what the left did and the right, because both of them are screwing us. They targeted one man, and this is out of a Nazi playbook. They told one big lie over and over and over again, and you all believed it. So I flipped the fuck out because I want people to wake up, get in prayer, read your Bible, know your laws, know your Constitution, because we're in an information war. And if you don't know what's going on, you will fall under the great delusion like everybody else. You're not exempt. And I hope people are taking this serious, because we are in a really serious, it's always been serious, but it's here. People have been like, when is it coming? You just heard Russo. When is it coming? It's not here yet. It's not here yet. And it slapped everybody in the face.
Do you remember, I've used this, and you're in Japan, so maybe you'll appreciate this, Karate Kid Part 2, when Daniel-san's got to go across and he's about to fight, for his life, and Mr. Miyagi grabs him and he goes, Daniel-san, this is no tournament. This for real. That's what just happened. It's been like when we have these shows, when we're talking about the debates, and when we're doing the election, we're doing all these different things, and even thinking no matter what, we'd still have a country. This is now for real.
Well, and you guys are making all these quotes, and it's making me think, and I sent it to you, Anthony. Like, one of the things, and this is what reminded me on Wednesday with the whole event. I think it's the movie Ants. One of the grasshoppers come back. The grasshoppers all sitting at their little bar thing and talking and whatever and joking around. And he's like, "Oh, it's just a puny little ant." And then the big guy stands up and he says, "Just one puny little ant? Do you realize those ants all realize that if they all stand up, they outnumber us 1,000,000 to 1." And that's exactly what happened on Wednesday.
Yep.
And I think we got to keep doing those same things. Is not all the actions from Wednesday, but uniting and being there and showing a presence in some way. And that's how you can show dominance. And
speaking of dominance, do people not think that if 1,000,000 people really tried to do something, that they would only do $20,000 worth of damage?
Thank you.
15. I don't. Like, they're calling that there was no, like, if those 1,000,000 people were really doing the things that they're making it sound like happen, that building would have been burnt to the ground. American history would have been gone forever.
Thank you. And it would have been, lives would have been lost. I'm sorry. If they really would have went in there, yes, rest in peace to her. But if they really would have went in there and did what they wanted to do and not been so peaceful, I don't think we would have members of the Congress operating today, right now, functioning. I don't.
No. There was people with weapons. I keep getting told that, and I believe it, because these are Second Amendment people. I never saw a single one. I never saw one brandished. I never saw anything happen. If they wanted SHIT to go down, it would have gone down. Like, even with the 20,000 people directly surrounding against 200 police officers, you're insane. That building would have been burnt to the ground. Somebody's like, well, they stole Nancy Pelosi's pen. Well, let's hope they stole something else.
Well, I'm hearing that they got the laptops from out of there, and that's actually been confirmed.
How has it been confirmed? Or has it been?
From what I can see and certain people that I trust, yeah.
I mean,
I will leave it there.
That's the last. Honestly, that's the last hope we have now in this short term. That is the last hope we have.
There is for sure at least one that I've read. I don't know exactly the quantity, but I have read on numerous places there is for sure one missing, and I think that's why they're going after some Republicans.
You know what's true when mainstream media says, "Oh, the laptops that they stole, there was nothing on it. Don't worry about it."
Right.
Oh, they actually said they were so. Oh, that's great. That's great. Yeah, I'm realizing that I've been complacent, been having fun, but I would tell all of our followers this is a time to prepare.
Yep. Because
if this can be done in 24 hours, we're not going to have a right in our own government anymore. Period. It's already been gone for decades, and that's from Republican and Democrats alike. it's the powers that be, but now it's going directly one-sided, that even the people that we're fighting against right now that are humans and Americans just like us, by the time that they realize that all rights are gone, it's going to be too late.
All day today just made me nervous as more and more people disappeared off of platforms, and now platforms are disappearing. It's like,
Yes.
this is not
Yeah.
good.
Parler is not on Google Play anymore. Took it down. I have Parler, so whatever. I suggest people download the app called Telegram because that's the alternative to Twitter. That's where I get a lot of my unfiltered information because it's not censored. Everything that they post on there that might get snatched down, it also goes to Telegram as well. So if you don't have that app, you should get it.
And if people think that the new guard is calling for unity, when Joe Biden called what happened at the Capitol, which you can ask anybody that was there, calling it a insurrection and calling it a violent protest and calling the people that stormed the Capitol terrorists, then storming the Capitol is a very gray term. Technically, I stormed up the steps and went up to the barricades. Does that make me? I stormed the Capitol. So does that make me a terrorist because I was exercising the exact right that our government affords us, our Constitution affords us? And to say that you are trying to bring unity when you literally called 1 million people terrorists, guys, wake up. If we are losing our rights, that doesn't mean yours can't be taken away either. Because I'm going to tell you, the Republicans, Democrats are not that far apart.
They're not.
They're all in the same pockets.
They're not. Nope, Parler's not on there. I just looked. It's not on there.
Yeah, I checked.
And it might be a little bit different for me because I am in Japan. Now I have my VPN set up to where it puts my IP address in the US. So I'll probably turn it off later and see what it's like here over in Japan and see if I still have access to all of my apps. But the fact that it's happening at home, I'm a military spouse. All right. My husband is over here serving active duty. I'm right across the ocean from China, literally across the ocean. The Navy's here. The Marines are here. Army's here. Everybody's here. We're all affected. It's insane. We were just talking about when all this coronavirus stuff happened. I would always wonder why my husband was calm. He never panicked. He was like, yeah, we'll be all right. Don't worry about it. I wanted to go to the grocery store and buy everything in there. I was like, we need a deep freezer. You need to go buy a generator. You need to go buy some more bullets for these guns. I was panicking because I was so scared. And he just reminded me, we all know how this story ends. We know good prevails. If you're a Christian, whatever you identify as, if you believe in the Bible, persecution is coming for those that believe in the truth. Lovers of the truth will be persecuted. If you don't want to believe a lie, you're going to be singled out. You're going to be persecuted. But Jesus says, take a compliment with that. They mock you. They put you down because you embody me. You look like me. You're me. I stood for the truth. And when I realized that's why he was so calm, I started to get perfect peace. I'm telling you. People panic and they're like, oh my God, all this stuff is going on. The government is corrupt. You guys see me. I'm like, the government's been corrupt. You knew that. I knew that. You just didn't do anything about it. So if I should be mad at anybody, it should be the older generation because you all just screwed us. That's it. Are the Chinese military still in Canada doing exercises? That exercise is over. I tried to tell people it was an exercise when it was going on because we were having exercises here. It's over.
I keep forgetting Walk Away also got taken down today.
Yeah. Walk Away did get taken down. I'm going to keep my comments to myself about Mr. Straka. But
I know. I mean, we all have our things with him. But at the same time, my curiosity becomes, because I do think it's a powerful page, because it shows a lot of voices. I don't know how that could be taken down for hate speech. Like, it's a bunch of people going like, I left the party because I feel like I was disenfranchised. Hate speech. Like, how you can disagree with why they left the party, but what the hell does it mean to be an American anymore that you can't feel that?
Listen, if you love your country, you're a domestic terrorist. You have to
Yes.
hate America to be normal.
I got to switch out my flag back here with the BLM flag. That's what I need to do.
Oh my
That's
god.
fun.
Did you know, Suni and Casey? Did you know that before Kelly went off Facebook, she shared one of her posts from the actual the grass, the event, not anywhere near Congress, of people chanting USA in this area, and it was very cool. She did a spin around, all this different stuff. She shared it on her page, and then somebody else shared it. That person got 30 days banned because of the chanting of USA, and it was responded to as it was a violation of community guidelines because it was showing violent acts.
Wow.
For chanting USA. Wow. I know you can be a Democrat, you can be a liberal, you can be whatever you want, and if that's okay in this country, then I'm sorry, we got to fight.
Right.
That's not okay.
No, it's not. That's called tyranny.
I'm going to stop, and this is one of my resolutions. I'm not using on a negative side using the word liberal anymore. I'm not calling them the liberals. They're the leftists and they're the Democrats. I really started looking. I broke down what it means to be a liberal. I am a liberal. It's an offense. It's an offense to any of the true liberals and actually conservatives and libertarians out there to say that the current Democratic Party and the left is liberals. Liberal is literally the ability of freedom of thought at its core, yeah. And it's allowing things. And again, some of us have difference in opinions on anything from religion to pro-choice, abortion, etc. All these different things. But ultimately, it's keeping the government out of our pockets and keeping the government out of our minds and our etc. So when you look at this concept, I mean, it's a sham. The original concept of a constitutional liberal is really what would save our country right now, which is freedom. Ultimate freedom. Libertarian, liberal, freedom.
Facts.
Agreed.
That's all I gotta say.
Well, I hope everyone is aware, and I hope I feel bad for the ones that are waking up just now because I know they're panicking. You're like, holy crap. So damn, these people weren't crazy. I'm telling you, I've had so many people tell me that since COVID-19. Yo, I thought you were crazy. Tell me, can you answer this for me? What you think about this? You know how many messages I get about this? What are your thoughts on this? I don't know. What are your thoughts? Why do you want to steal mine? Read it and let me know what you took from it.
Yeah, let's chat about it.
I'm going to play a video. You guys don't have to stay on for this, but I'm going to play this video that I came across this morning. I used to watch this guy. His name is Craig G. Lewis, and he was one of the first Protestant pastors, and I don't believe in denominations, by the way, but that's what he is, to speak out against pop culture. You really never hear pastors speaking out against pop culture and calling it for what it is, but he did a whole series called Truth Behind Hip Hop. I suggest you watch it. It's not just about hip hop. It's about a ton of different things. He tackles the real meaning of Christmas, Halloween, all that stuff. But he brought up strong delusions. Crazy, right? Because I've been talking about it for about a week now. What is happening? So I'm like, I didn't come across this for no reason. I don't believe in coincidences. So I'm gonna play this 9-minute video, and then we'll end on that end. I think people need to watch this. You take from whatever you want to take from it. His organization is called X Ministries. It's dope. He is one of the most. I don't even like pastors. I don't believe in church the way it is set up now. But this guy has captured my attention for years, and I love him. He's amazing.
काली शक्ति दे बलि चढ़ाऊं तेरे आगे स्वीकार करो
So the Lord gave me a dream, and I just felt it necessary to tell this dream. It's kind of an obvious dream, but I believe it had meaning that could help you understand the state that we're in as a nation and a world. I was driving in a in my SUV, and we were headed to church, and we were headed on this particular freeway called 820, and there's construction on it. There's been construction on it since I was a little kid, so they ain't gonna ever finish this freeway. But we were riding on this freeway, and I remember seeing to the left of the freeway, the left lane, it was covered with bodies. And they were people's bodies just spread all the way out. They were maimed, they were, burned, they were just mangled, all of these things. But the strange thing about it was they were all dressed up. So they had nice dresses. The women had on stockings and hoses. The men had on suits and ties. And I mean, all the way down to cufflinks and, dress shirts and clergy collars and just all kinds of things. They were church people. And these church people were just mangled and just totally, just destroyed disgustingly, to the point to where you couldn't even look at it. It was so grotesque. And they were all in the left lane. And so I remember yelling to my family, y'all don't look to the left. Don't look to the left. It's terrible to the left. You don't want to look over there. And so I remember us being in the right lane, and we just kept driving, and then we saw the exit, and we took that exit to get off the freeway so that we didn't have to see just that destruction. I didn't want my kids to see it. All my kids were with me, and I just didn't want my family to see that. So we exited off, and then I woke up, and I asked the Lord, I said, God, what in the world was this dream about? And God spoke to me, and he told me that the church is on the wrong side. They're on the wrong side of things. And on this particular side that they're on, this is the destruction that's going to happen to them. And I remember praying and waking up, and God took me to a movie that I had seen years and years ago, Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, and where they were doing this ritual. And then lo and behold, someone sent me in my email this particular Antifa ritual. And I'm going to show you this ritual right now that was being done by Antifa.
I'm on fire! To the chaos God! Praise 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 the chaos God! Praise the chaos God!
So to just kind of give you a brief summary of what is going on here, if you remember the movie Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, you remember that they were in the Temple of Kali. And Kali is a Hindu goddess, and she's the partner of Shiva, a Hindu god. And the Shiva represents total destruction of our world. Shiva is known as the destroyer. So that's why, Shiva is in front of CERN and used on CERN's logos and different things. And you see the world around them, and you see all this destruction. This is the god of destruction, Shiva. Kali represents the emasculation of men because she carries Shiva's head in one hand. This particular goddess is very evil, has many arms. This is where yoga comes from, transcendental meditation. That's why, as Christians, we don't do any of that. But she represents child sacrifice and the destruction of our world. This is just a demonic being. And Antifa is actually doing a ritual that you just saw, the exact same ritual that was done in the movie Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. And Antifa is not accidentally doing this. They know exactly what this ritual represents. They're calling for the destruction of our land through civil unrest, feminist emasculation of men, anarchy, chaos. He even called for the god of chaos during this ritual, and the obliteration of God's church. This is their main goal, to stop the church. But the sad part is that so many pastors and church members are on the wrong side of things. They've allowed their racism, their racial bias, and indoctrination by the news and social media to cause them to forsake God's desires for their own selfish will. So we are forsaking what God wants because of what we want. And this is what the church is doing. They are for the opposition, not knowing that the opposition is for the destruction of the church. They don't see that they are supporting the very thing that will end them as a church body. They don't even care that they are standing with witches, warlocks, demons, and spiritual wickedness. They're chanting Black Lives Matter, BLM, right along with these witches and demons and this witchcraft spell, this Yoruba witchcraft spell that is spread all over our land. They're standing right with it. It's bringing all this destruction and it's bringing all of this chaos. And they don't even know that this spell is over America is what is bringing this over the world, actually, is what is bringing all of this unrest and all of this wickedness. And y'all, this is truly strong delusion. Did you ever think you would be smack dab in the middle of it and it would be so strong that the church would be chanting for their very own demise and not even know it? But, you know, strong delusion, according to the Bible, comes for a reason. Matthew 13:30 says, let both, speaking of wheats and tares, grow together until the harvest. And in the time of harvest, I will say to the reapers, gather ye together first the tares and bind them in bundles to burn them, but gather the wheat into my barn. So here God is separating the sheep from the goats, the wheat from the tares. That's what is happening right now in our world before Jesus returns. He is soon to return, of course, but before he returns, he will separate us so that it will be clear who is truly for him and who is for the world. 2 Thessalonians 2:10 says, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. For this cause God shall send them strong delusion, that they should believe a lie, and that all might be damned who believe not the truth, but had pleasure in unrighteousness. This is where we are right now. They're casting all of these spells through BLM, through Antifa. They're conjuring up all this witchcraft. Witches are gathering. They're praying. They're planning a big prayer for even Halloween. I mean, we are right here, and God is showing who is really for him. Those for the world are going to perish with the world, but those for Christ will be taken up out of this world. So whose side are you truly on? Who's standing next to you when you're chanting, when you're saying BLM and all this? Who's standing right next to you? That should tell you whose side you are on. What spirit is it that is operating in you in this hour? We have to make sure that it is the Spirit of God only that's operating in us, and we are not unequally yoked with witchcraft and demons and devils. Our purpose is to worship Jesus Christ only and return with him when he comes back for us.
Now, you all don't have to believe in the whole spiritual part of it, right? But there's nothing that he said there that you can deny. The truth stands on its own. Nothing that you heard there, not even scripture. You can't even you'd be like, nah, witches are real. They're not the witches. Ha, 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 fly the broom. They're real. All right. Dark magic is real. Demons are real. I've had my experiences. I went through a long, hard-fought battle before I started doing this, where I was confused on a lot. I was confused on even if God was real. I went through that struggle, and I just prayed, whatever it is, please reveal it to me. Give me some sort of relief, and I got it. So there would be, you would never be able to tell me that the God I believe in and the God I serve is not real. Never. You can't refute it. Antifa is evil. There's only good and there's only evil in this world. And the sooner you realize that, the better off you'll be. It's just time to accept it. Our government has been thriving off of evil. Not everyone in the government is evil. No, not at all. I want to say, this is what I believe. I want to say almost a good 90% of the intelligence crew are good people. And you have that 8 or 9% left over that just are diabolical. They're out for their own selfish gains, whatever they're trying to accomplish. God knows what it is. I can't understand why you would cause this much strife among other humans. We're all human. You have to have something operating in you that is just pure evil for you to want to do this stuff. And I'll let these two guys give their closing statements, but you all know where I stand. All right. I'm going to say the name of Jesus every time I get the chance. I'm going to tell people the good story. I'm going to send the gospel. I am. The greatest commandment of all is love. That's what Jesus called us all to do. Love your brother. Right now is a time for unity. It's time for Americans to come back together and recognize who we're fighting against. And it's evil. That's it.
I 100% agree. You can't, after you see what has gone on over the last even just 48 hours, right? They've shown their true colors. They don't care. So I agree with you. I don't even know what Anthony's thinking.
I don't even know if he's paying attention.
No, I am. Facebook is so fun lately. I can't. It's so much fun. No, it's. I believe in good and evil, and I waited too long to. I don't even honestly. I don't know. I think each 24 hours that passes, I don't. I honestly have no words for what's going on, and I don't know. Like, it's not even about me having jobs or friends around me. I mean, I'm in fear for the friends that came with me, for just standing there and making a post that they were there. This is so dangerous. Such a dangerous road that we're going down. All I can say is, I'll agree with Cash, and I was the one that said this in the beginning. I will 100% respect President Biden as president, but his leash is that thin, and right now we aren't even there yet, and I'm about ready to pull the plug on that. That's it. All I can say is be prepared.
Be prepared. That's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this show. I'm going to pull you guys down. I'm going to give my closing statements. Thank you for being on. It's awesome to have you guys. Love you, Russo. Love you, Casey. # be the change. Primetime Patriots. We're going to be coming back full force. All right. Everybody had a rough couple days, but we're here now. So be on the lookout for both of us. All right, guys. He said, I will never respect. You don't have to respect him, but don't do what they have done to Trump for 4 years. Be better. Set the tone, set the example, let people know you're supposed to stand out. You're supposed to be a light in darkness. Right? So don't be like they are. Don't fall into the same traps of choosing a side. Because at the end of the day, we're all we have. Politicians have let us down. Let us down. I'm going to read some of these comments. We need to share what they really stand for. Yes. I'm right there with you, Nicole. # Italy did it. Yeah, I understand that too. I got you. We don't know if that's true yet, Elma. That is a picture circulating, but I'm not going to say it's true here because I don't know it for sure. Keep dialogue and spreading Congress and Senate info hearings should wake up everybody. Honestly, I don't see how it didn't wake people up as the hearings were going on. I was infuriating watching all those politicians just like crap all over the Constitution, crap all over the Americans that they're supposed to represent. Like, it made my blood boil. I felt like my heart rate went through the roof. I have a watch, right? It tracks my heart rate. At some point in the day, my heart rate was up to 120, I was so mad. So everyone's angry about what's going on, but don't dwell in anger. Stay in prayer. If you believe in the Bible, get somewhere and read your Bible. Okay? Whatever you believe in, I don't care. But please stay in prayer. Do the right thing. Do research and look out for people that are deceiving you, false prophets. Don't just jump on any and everything because it makes you feel good or offers you some type of false hope. Make sure it's real before you get on board 100%. All right? And tune in for the next live. I'll probably go live from my phone at some point. I don't know. We'll see what happens and what plays out on social media. I might hop on here, or I might just lay low and be good. I don't know. We'll see. But thank you guys for tuning in. I'm out of here.